Hey, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachad, Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles, to the elders, the great millstone. Peace, love, honors, and salutations to the hopeful elect that are out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity. Shalom to you. I'm going to start off with Jeremiah 51, verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? It says, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Right. So this nasty kingdom, Babylon, aka America, is going down. And it says, take balm for her pain. You could equate that to them, you know, coming up with all these stimulus packages, all these things that could so-called get Babylon, aka America, out of debt, so that it could live on. But there's nothing. If there was a bomb, then if there was a way, then America would be healed. But there's no way for this country, this wicked society, to be healed. Okay? So look. Bear with me 1 second. All right, Salakia. So I want to start off. Let me play this video real quick. So this is a video I came across today.
Yeah, I see the new technology is out, right? Yeah, I see the shit. Where you now shopping and shit. You can I think this the one where you ring up your own shit, like when you put it in the cart. See, look at this shit. What that say? See what this shit say? It say start shopping. You know what I'm saying?
And one thing Esau Edom, the so-called white man, does is he does things gradually. Little by little. First, they didn't fire all the cashiers. They just made one lane self-checkout. And it turned to 2 lanes. Then it turned to 3 lanes. Now you got stores with no cashiers at all. Right? When you go to BJ's, which I just went to BJ's yesterday, damn near everything in BJ's now is self-checkout. Okay? So now they're totally eliminating cashiers. And this is why the scriptures say the grinding shall cease. Okay? This country is doomed, man. This country is done.
You know what I think, right? This gonna put.
Your leaders has sold you out. You're not in your leaders' best interest. Their best interest is their own greed, their own belly. That's why there's so much corruption in the United States government. Because these are greedy and corrupt men and women. Horrible, nasty people. All right?
The motherfucking cashiers. No more. You ain't gonna need no cashiers. If you could just pay for your shit like this, continuous guess. Let's see what happened. First time using new card.
And soon, see, now, I'm pretty sure this is tap to pay. It has to be tap to pay. Right? Gearing you up for that digital system. Soon it's going to be scan to pay. Scan your hand.
Yeah, got me. Let's see what they talking about. Add product. Face it. Yeah, you scan the shit as you put it in the cart. Place it in the cart. Don't hold item. Just put it in there.
And they're using this as a means of convenience. Oh, you mean I don't gotta wait online no more? Certain stores you gotta wait online. And certain lines are very long. Like the line at BJ's is always, you always spend at least 10 minutes, 10-20 minutes online. Excuse me. You always spend at least 10-20 minutes online. But here you don't have to no more. So see, they're gearing you up, man. Pray to endure and finish. Hey, that's the apostle Menatazak, the elder. It's like the elder Menatazak. Hey, he is an apostle. What am I saying? He is an apostle.
How to add produce. Look, this new technology, man, put this shit right here. Y'all ain't got no business working any damn way. You know what I'm saying?
That's that. So let me go back to the scripture. Let me read. It said Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind. And that's that thermonuclear destruction. All right. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land in the day of trouble. They shall be against her round about. Right. And the fanners is going into the other nations. That's going to wreak havoc and hell and rain fire in the form of them thermonuclear missiles upon Babylon, man. That's what that's going into. And right now we see the tension between America and NATO, America and other countries, because of this whole America aiding Israel, in the genocide of the Palestinians. So a lot of nations are looking at America sideways, like, yo, you condone this shit? And you're talking about peace this, peace that, peace this, peace that, and you're condoning this? So something's gonna happen, man, that these other nations are gonna end up shooting missiles on Babylon the Great, and that destroying wind is gonna be from all these other nations. All right, that the Lord is gonna raise them up, man. The Lord is raising up these people. It's like against him that bindeth. It's like against him that bendeth. Let the archer bend his bow against him that lifted up in his brigadine, his armory. It says, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Right. And him that bendeth the bow. It's just like when you go into the book of Job, where it speaks about the glittering spear cometh out the gall. Well, that bow, is the missile silos, all right? And the glittering spear is that arrow. Okay? It said against him that lifted up. Let me read it again. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. That's the aim the missiles at Babylon. And against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine. Right, they're proud in their armory. They're proud in their technology, their military capability. All right. It says, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Right. The Lord's going to destroy all the hosts that fight against him, man. Okay. It says, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. It says, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God. Right. The Lord have not forsaken us, though it might seem like it. Right, because Jake is still catching hell. Even us brothers in the truth, we catching some major hell, man. All right, but we're not forsaken by Yahweh, by Shem Yahshua, because he's bound to his word. He's bound to his promise that he promised our forefathers. All right. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God. It says of the Lord Yahweh. It says of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, through their land, though their lands were filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. It says, flee ye out of the midst of Babylon, deliver everyone his soul. It says, be not cut off with her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Right, man? This is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Okay? You got to get this truth, man. You got to get this understanding right now. Not tomorrow, not later, not next week. You got to get this understanding right now, man. You know, you got to leave the world behind, man. You know, and understand this word. It says, for this is the time of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance. It says he will render her a recompense, right? He gonna pay Babylon back for the things that she did, man. Meaning, we gonna get our revenge. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? America's been on top for a very long time, and that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It says, that have made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Right? They were in cahoots with America. You know, they went in bed with America. They did deals with America. And mainly, it's talking about their leaders. You know, the leaders done sold their own people out. You know, by confining or conforming with the ways of Babylon in their country. Right? So they drunk enough her wine and they realized that, wait a minute, this ain't no good liquor, man. What's that King Cobra beer? You know, this ain't no good wine. This is King Cobra. You know, so the nations are pissed off at Babylon, man. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so, she may be healed. And I wanted to get a couple more of these. So this one says, Amazon to cut up to 30,000 corporate jobs starting Tuesday. So tomorrow, 30,000 corporate jobs at Amazon is being cut. So let me read this. Amazon.com plans to cut as many as 30,000 corporate jobs starting Tuesday, according to the Reuters. It says exclusive, citing 3 people familiar with the matter. The company declined to comment to the news agency. It says the reduction would amount in nearly 10% of Amazon's roughly 350,000 corporate employees. Damn, that's a lot. It says, and represents its largest job cut round since about 27,000 positions were eliminated in the late 2022 and early 2023. You know, so there you go. This is Amazon cutting employees, man. And we all know Amazon is heavy into that digital stuff, man. All right. I ain't got to read this no more. You brothers could pause the video and check it out. You know, so those are a couple things that's going on right now. I know there's another video. Here it is. This is another thing that popped up. And it says, under Trump, hirings are at lowest level since 2009, down 58% from Biden. So this is the man that said he was going to come in and fix every damn thing. And everything is upside down. You know? So that's it, man. This place is finished, man. Babylon the Great is destroyed. As the scriptures say, Babylon is fallen. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.